Hi, welcome. My name is Laura Kistner. I'm with Boulder Labs Library. I'm an interlibrary loan specialist, and we are wondering if you've ever had, in fact, you might be wondering, although interlibrary loan is doing really well, every once in a while something gets delayed, and we thought we could make a video to address any delays and maybe to help you help us. So we made this little ditty using interlibrary loan and how to give us a correct site. Of course, it all starts when you get on our webpage and go to my account over there in the corner. And then just you'll have ILL and doc delivery. Click on that. Of course, it may ask you to log in at this point. And if you haven't done this in a while, your username should be whatever your email is before the @ sign. So you'll get this page if everything goes well. And if you click on requested and then click on where it says number 2, create request. If you're logged in, you'll see your name in the upper right-hand corner. And you will find any previous ILL requests here if you have requested anything from us before. And even your articles, that are on here will show potential views remaining. So we try and do a lot. Sometimes we'll get incorrect information or a lack of information. We don't experience that many delays, but when we do, it's usually because of this. Sometimes a lack of information might be a journal title or an article title or the pages. And we realize that maybe our requesters are not getting full information either. They're providing us whatever, you're providing us whatever you have. So let's start with our form. We have 3 different places you can go. You have an article form, a book form, and a technical report form. Every once in a while, someone will put tech report information in the article form or article information in the book form, or they'll fill out the article form and then click on loan. So it all starts with filling out that correct form. And we also really want to know about you. We want all the basics, but of course, it's really important to know if you're with NIST, NOAA, or NTIA. When it comes to articles, really just the items that are italicized up top. If we have that, we have something to go on because we'll try and fill it in. If you can't, if you get only certain information, just get the request to us. We'll do the best we can to fill it in before we send it off. With ebooks, we're not really offering books right now. We are still closed at the present time, but we have had some ebook requests. We've had quite a few. And we will get you that ebook if we have the items again that are italicized. That's our wish list. If you have more, that would be perfect. But title, author, date published. And the rest of it, if you have it, even an OCLC number, and I'll explain that. But before you go to interlibrary loan, please take a moment to look up some other things that are available on our site, such as Books 24/7, IEEE, eBook Central, and Wiley. Those may give you what you need. You may not even need to go through interlibrary loan. I mentioned no CLC number. It's a unique control number that's assigned to each new bibliographic record in WorldCat. And an ISSN or a title can have several OCLC numbers, but this tells us exactly the one that you want. Sometimes your information will actually give you the OCLC number, and we're very interested in that. If we're left to our own devices, we'll get one anyway, and we'll go with the library that has the most holdings. As far as government and or tech reports, we could really use, again, this is our wish list. If you have an AD or a PB number, that's extremely helpful. Title, author, publisher. This one, Solute Properties of Water from the United States Department of the Interior. Sometimes we have to go to the source and it's a really old item. So yeah, any of that. Date, just That'll help us go to the correct place and hunt it down. Why are we doing this? Actually, it's in the U.S. Interlibrary Loan Code that we give a complete cite before we give something to somebody who could lend to us. It helps them with their processing, and it's less likely they're going to send it back to us as a conditional and say, we don't know what you're talking about. That's happened a couple times. This is an example of a request. We have the Russian Journal of Physical Chemistry. You can tell the article title hasn't been filled out. But of course, you may see that in the bibliography you're getting the cite from, and there are some years, they're just not filled out, the article titles. So what do we do next? How do we process this? We take the Russian Journal of Physical Chemistry. That's the title. You can see it's abbreviated. We'll get the full title, and then we'll go into something called Web of Science. We'll go into our tools. We have a basket full of tools we're going to share with you. If you feel like going in yourself or you have the time to do that, and we're going to go in. We think we have a title: the method for simultaneous determination of a series of surface properties of demixing fluids. Of course, I would normally say don't let that thing at the bottom worry you. That's Journal Physической Химии. Actually, that is the same title in Russian. So now we're converting over to the Russian journal. However, that doesn't mean that it's actually in Russian, that the article that you receive, if we go and get this title or get the article through this title, will actually be in Russian. It very well could be in English. So when we look in Web of Science, we see this, we see that it's presented as the Russian Journal of Physical Chemistry and also Journal Physической Химии. And we see, if you look at the very bottom, that the times that line 11 is actually cited is twice, whereas the times that the line is actually cited for the Russian version is 4 times. So we're gonna probably take the Russian version. So how did I do that? I went into something called Web of Science, which is on our site, and I looked for that. I looked for whatever I could find. Sometimes it'll give us one, sometimes it'll give us another. It doesn't always give us both. And sometimes we can find more information on a journal that's published locally. It's published in another country, but libraries have more holdings, or it's published more recently, or it's just more popular, but this is the same article. So we're going to send out the one that is from Journal Physической Химии. But if we send it out like that, it will almost certainly come back to us, and I can explain why. Is that because there's a translation in progress. It's actually not on the original page number. The original page number was 1057, and instead what we're looking at is a different page number because, we're using different words, and over the course of lots and lots of pages of words, it's going to be on a different page actually. So we're going to put in 1843. That's going to go with, if you see here on line 13, that's going to go with the title that we're using, which is the more popular title in this case. So 1843, we'll plug in a new page number. In the comments field, this is actually on each form that you go to, each request that you make. If you look for these items, if you have anything that you can't put in the form, if you would like it in a certain language, if it doesn't matter if it's in English or not, if you have any information about where you got this item, like for information on a thesis or a government report, this is the place to put it. And I would say that for government reports and for theses, this is crucial. This will make or break it sometimes. Of course, there may not be the place on the form, to put it otherwise. So this would be great. Just keep these in mind. So if you want to do what we do and you want to get it as soon as possible, of course, we'll take any request, but if you just want to complete a week citation, we're not going to complain. NIST has access to something called SciFinder, which is like Chem Abstracts, which is what NOAA or NTIA has. If you need to go to Chem Abstracts or SciFinder, then something called a CA number can be extremely helpful. You can put that in the comments spot or the notes spot. NIST also has access to engineering, something called Engineering Village. What we go to is Web of Science. You've heard me mention that a couple times. Then there's Google Scholar and Google, and we'll go there to try and complete a site if something is missing. And again, the way you saw it, the way you put it in, we realize that you put in whatever you see. But if you want to go one step further, this is a wonderful way to do it, and it can be pretty quick. So yeah, ask us anything. The reference desk, boulderlabs.ref at noaa.gov. We have the knowledge base, which is a great place to go for just about anything. Anything that we have that you see on the site that you have a question about will probably be there. We have hours Monday through Friday. That's kind of about right generally, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. But come see us anytime, and we hope to catch you soon.